I am teaching you the poem Now the Leaves Are Falling Fast. This poem has been composed by W.H. Auden, the second great poet after T.S. Eliot, whose influence is widely noticeable. The present lyric, Now the Leaves Are Falling Fast, enacts the frustration inherent in human life, the aspirations that are not fulfilled, and the sense of loneliness in which every individual lives and dies. Falling of leaves in the poem suggests death and decay. It brings to mind a sense of barrenness. The first two lines of the first stanza end with falling fast and will not last. Both of them sound sad, suggesting loss and vast. Nurses to the graves are gone is the third line of the first stanza, suggesting death and grave. The image of the falling fast is following with expressions which are unpleasant to hear. Death is taken as very tragic and horrible thing by the human society. This is a very negative attitude to death. The appearance of death and decay drives away the singing of the nightingale, suggesting that in face of death we are supposed to remain sad and gloomy. This is a negative tendency which the poet suggests us to get rid of. Trolls, as used in this poem, are wicked and ugly creatures. Their appearance is horrible and horrifying. It vanishes the singing of the nightingale. Even human activities remain suspended in its presence. The atmosphere is surcharged with horror. In real life, similar is the effect of appearance of death and decay. Death's hands are ugly and it lays its hands on all. Nothing can escape the brutality of death. Death does not discriminate between high and low, rich and poor, beautiful and ugly. Death cannot separate any living being in the world. The poet in this poem speaks of death several times. Death is inevitable and we must have to obey the order of death. We must have to follow, must have to obey the command of death. He does not anywhere suggest that it is something we should be afraid of it. So we should not be afraid of death. We should always be ready to receive the summons of death. It is a killer, but then it is very natural. Death is a must. When it comes, it should not be taken as a tragic event, but we should accept the tragic, sad and sardonic presence of death this is the truth of the world. Those who are born must die. It is quite fact, and it is universal truth. Once this is known, then death should not leave us sad and tormented. Similar expression has been made in Dryden's famous satire Macbeth, as the opening line of this satire gives us a moral high lesson. All living beings are subject to decay, and when fate summons, monarchs must obey. Thus, nobody can disrespect the order of death, because it is inevitable, it is universal, and it must be obeyed. And we should not feel any type of sorrow or tragic feeling at the time of death, but it should be happily received, obeyed, and gladly it should be accepted. Full stop, that's all.